You're listening to UCW Radio.
In your face.
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Oh, have I got your attention now?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You know what I mean?
Money to be made in a place like this.
Money never sleeps, pal.
You're crazy. Don't run when you lose. Don't whine when it hurts.
You know what it takes to sell real estate? It takes brass.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
All right, welcome to Money Never Sleeps. This is a show where we talk about anything and everything that impacts the flow of money from around the corner to around the world. And a lot of interesting things have been happening. I'm not going to talk about individual stocks. I want to kind of pinpoint and focus on cryptocurrencies for this show. Reason being is that a lot of things are happening. You know, recently you had a few companies that went and they acquired hundreds of millions into the billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin to keep on their books as an intangible asset. You know, Elon Musk did it. And a few other, prominents have done it. The reason why, people are have a misconception. They think that, hey, they're doing this because they think it's going to go up. It's not about a trade. It's about changing the utility of the asset. Remember, it's a digital asset. It's not a stock that's meant to trade up and down, and once it starts getting treated that way, then that true value is going to set in. What happened in Miami, very interesting. Okay, Mayor Frank Suarez, what he did, he's going to set a precedent because he is looking to pass legislation that will allow the city to pay employees partially in Bitcoin. Okay, allow for taxes to be paid in Bitcoin and other things that you can't do now. So they're trying to pass that. And the reason why I say that's interesting, because it's just Miami. It's one city in the whole great United States. But if mayoral candidate Andrew Yang, if he becomes the next New York City mayor, he already pledged that he's looking to make New York City a hub for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. Okay, now this changes everything, because now you have the ability for the utility to come further. From BNY Mellon going and allowing their clientele to hold cryptocurrencies, and not just Bitcoin, just cryptocurrencies for other groups, other banks, other neobanks. And, the neobanks have been doing it. The Square, the PayPals, they've already incorporated some form of cryptocurrency. Usually it's a Bitcoin, Ether, and things of that nature, but they're opening up the floodgates a little bit so that it allows other cryptocurrencies to come in, so that you have a tradable or a holding situation. The custodian of the cryptos, this is where it gets, you have to be careful, because, we've seen it in the past. We had like a Mount Gox. This is going way back, and they held all that Bitcoin, and all of a sudden, boom, it disappeared. Okay, that's problematic. You have people that have Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and they forget their password. After a certain time, you can only try so much before you get locked out of the account and you lose everything. So having a custodian to handle that for you saves a lot of headache and a lot of potential issues. And because they're regulated, banks and things of that nature, they're regulated, it's a safer situation. I think that this is a turning point for the cryptocurrency space. I believe that we're going to see more of this happening this year. I believe that, and maybe not this year, but in a little bit of time, and I'm talking about maybe the next year or so, we're going to see other countries adopting this. They're going to start accepting it, because at the end of the day, you have your phone, your phone. That's your mobile computer, right? You can go you can go to your bank at any given time and do things there. Not everything, but you can do a majority of things. And if you have access to your crypto assets and you can go and move them around, It makes it more convenient for the individual. People worry about losing control of their crypto assets, but if you have a custodian that is regulated watching this, you are protected. If something should happen, you're protected. At least it's a safe zone. You may have to pay a slight fee for it, but it's better than people that have been locked out of their wallets that can't access it. I know of stories, and I know of a couple of people that didn't forgot they had Bitcoin and forgot about the whole thing. Got new computers over the years, and all of a sudden, boom! Oh my God, and new phones? Where's my wallet? Okay, and they forget the password, and now all of a sudden, if they had 5, 10, 20, 100, 1,000 Bitcoin way back when, that was worth really, a fraction, a little pillet of what it's worth today. That's you're talking about millions and hundreds of millions to billions of dollars of lost cryptocurrencies that'll never be recovered because there's no way to get them once you get locked out. That's the reality of it. But yeah, again, I think that we're having a big turning point with cryptocurrencies, the cryptocurrency market. The ones that have utility are the ones that you should be looking at, I believe. Because at the end of the day, if something doesn't have utility, it's problematic, and I'm going to touch on this because this is important. I've been involved in the precious metals market for some time. Okay, gold, silver, things of that nature, precious commodities, right? So now, gold, as pretty as it is, as beautiful as it is, in this next iteration of our lives, as everything is becoming more digital, okay, these metals, these rare metals, their value is not going to be, what it once was. As gold spikes up and things of that nature, what's happening is that people are thinking that, okay, gold is that type of commodity that'll go and continue to rise. There was a time that gold went down. It cost more to mine the gold than the gold was worth. That time was there. That time, I feel that time is going to come back. I think that it's all overvalued. Because the bottom line is you have a bar of gold or gold coin, and you want to go and do something with it. You can't easily just go to a store and buy something. Okay, you have to actually go somewhere special to go and sell it, and you got to hope that you're getting market prices and everything else. You got to make sure that everything's right, and then you have to get currency, fiat currency for it. Or if they give you digital currency, they give you that. The bottom line is there has to be an exchange there. Same way with cryptocurrency now, but it's different because cryptocurrency, you can go and give it to someone, and if someone accepts it, they can utilize it to buy a product. People have, for a while, from and I mentioned this on the other show, from buying pizzas to going and buying cars and other stuff and buying homes. I think that we're getting there. I think that it will come to a point that you'll have even the real estate industry embracing this, and people will be accepting digital assets for that, as long as there is a form of liquidity, and with the banks getting involved and being custodians of these cryptos, that's going to be interesting, because then you may have that liquidity come in, to go and buy a car or a home or something with a digital asset, and you're able to do that. It just makes things a lot more interesting. Even with banks giving loans, you think that it wouldn't, when they go give a loan, everything, even though there's numbers floating around, everything's digital. So what's the difference? It's an asset. It's an asset that has a utility, and that can be used. And I believe we will come to that point with retail further. We will come to that point with real estate. We will come to that point with a lot of things. And these guys, like these mayors, they're leading the charge, and that's a great thing. That's a great thing. I know that you hear a lot out there with those that champion this. Okay, it's great to champion it, and they're going and they're laying out their views, or they're sending out a tweet, and to the moon, and all this other stuff. The bottom line is do your research, understand what you're getting involved with, and think about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is not the trade. It's what is going to happen later. All right. So this is why I wanted to talk about this area, cryptocurrency, so that people have and just from me, they have a better understanding of what could be. And you crypto enthusiasts out there, keep going. Things are changing. And those that are really, that are true enthusiasts of crypto, it's not about getting a trade out of it for them to put a few bucks in their pocket. It's the possibility of changing the world in that way. And it's happening. You can't ignore it. The old guard is beginning to understand this. And the new guard is pushing it harder and harder. Okay. And so I think it's happening there. Okay. And just in closing, talking about crypto, the Reddit, when you hear all this hype and everything on Reddit and other message boards and social media, just be careful. You get stuck on the wrong side of that trade, you're losing. Okay, if you look at what happened with GameStop, AMC, all these, Tilray, Aurora, all these cannabis and all these companies, even with crypto and stuff like that, you have some hype going on. So you want to kind of, just be careful with that. All right. Anyway, that's about it for this edition of Money Never Sleeps, and I'll be back with you for the next show. Until then, you guys have a fantastic one.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
You're listening to UCW Radio. In your face.
What is your major malfunction?
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mother thanks you, my father thanks you, my sister thanks you, and I thank you.
All opinions expressed by Luis Velazquez on the Money Never Sleeps radio show and its website are solely his opinions and do not reflect the opinions of the UCW radio show or their parent company or affiliates, and may have been previously disseminated by him on television, radio, internet, or another medium. You should not treat any opinion expressed by him as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow a particular strategy, but only as an expression of his opinion. His opinions are based upon information he considers to be reliable, but neither the UCW radio show nor its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries warrant its completeness or accuracy, and it should not be relied upon as such. The UCW radio show, Luis Velazquez, its affiliates, parent companies, and or subsidiaries are not under any obligation to update or correct any information provided on the radio show or on the website. His statements and opinions are subject to change without notice. No part of his compensation from the UCW radio show is related to the specific opinions he expresses. Please read the full disclaimer on MoneyNeverSleepsRadio.com.